Good day, everyone, and happy Leo season. We are in Leo season, which means the sun is in charge. It's the sun's birthday. Now, you're probably going, well, it's my birthday when I have my birthday. Yeah, that's true. But Leo season is the only constellation ruled by the sun. And if you were born a sun sign of Leo, or Leo rising, or a Leo career, midheaven, Leo descendant, Leo relationships, Leo home life, meaning Leo's in the IC, you have extra shiny, sunny spotlight energy on you. Your chart was born that way. Now, how many of you are aware that Leo rules the fifth house? So the Leo house in everybody's chart is the fifth house. So whatever energies or planetary bodies are in your fifth house have a Leo spark on them as well. Many of you have planets in Leo. Maybe your moon's in Leo. Maybe you were born with Mercury in Leo, or Venus in Leo, or Mars in Leo, or Jupiter, or Saturn, or Uranus, or Neptune in Leo, or your north node's in Leo, or your south node is in Leo. All of you born with any planetary influences in Leo have this extra shiny spotlight energy. Now, I was born with Uranus in Leo, right? And what do? What is one of the things that I do here? So Uranus is what? The ruler of astrology. I mean, there's a lot of planetary bodies that can be considered rulers of astrology. But Uranus is really one of them, the main one, in my opinion, because Uranus is the modern day ruler of Aquarius, right? And so for me, Uranus is pretty much spot on, because what is one of the things that brings me the most joy is to have my astrological channel here, to talk about astrology, to talk about things that most people don't really talk about. Not everybody talks about astrology. Not everybody talks about it. It's not in everybody's life. But that's what I find fascinating, is to be able to talk about it, to put a light on astrology, to put a light on things that are unique and different and that are very authentic. And so I know that one of the things I'm here to do is to talk about astrology, which I've been doing, but also to put the spotlight on authenticity, the spotlight on different things in the world, because let's be honest, we are all authentic individuals. It's when we try to blend in with everybody and try to be this person or that person is when I feel we go into a downward spiral. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you with all my Uranus and Leo discussions here. But I am going to say that I have Uranus and Leo. And so I know the spotlight is on me when I'm talking about astrology. It always has been, before I even got into astrology. You know, my background is in pre-vet, and I have a master's in business. And so I have worked in many different positions, and medical sales and pharmaceutical sales and regional lab testing sales. And so, however, in all those jobs that I had, I was always looking at people's astrology charts. Anyway, let's move on. I just wanted to say that Leo energy is being celebrated right now while the sun is in Leo. So celebrate your Leo energy wherever it happens to be. Okay? When I was looking at people's sun lines, because as you know, I posted that anybody would like a complimentary sun line reading. I am very grateful for 4 subscribers here on the channel. Their names are Aaron, Marcela, Eva, and Angel. And I pulled up where their sun lines fall, and I had to kind of make this simple because astrocartography and looking at people's maps of where all their planetary energies fall is a very time-consuming process. And that's why most astrologers charge what they do, because you'd have to be observing me to understand, and we don't have time for that. So what I did is I pulled up everybody's maps of North America to see where their sun lines fall. Do they even have sun lines in North America? Are there sun lines falling in the East Coast? Are there sun lines falling in the West Coast? What about the Midwest? What about the middle of the country? Are they off to sea somewhere? Sometimes our planetary lines are out in the ocean. It's true. It's out in the middle of the ocean. I have planetary lines out in the ocean. And when my chart was first looked at and the astrologer told me that, I was a little bummed. And then I realized, why am I getting bummed about this? I have so many other good planetary lines flowing through different countries and cities and states that I'm not going to worry about it. And so there are a few of you that have planetary lines that are kind of out in the ocean. And don't worry about it, okay? It's nothing to worry about, is my point. But this is important for anybody listening to know, is if you go and pull your planetary line information and you find out, in this case, your sun lines are kind of all out in the ocean, maybe they're all the way in the west or maybe the east or wherever they are, don't fret about it. It's not the end of the world. It is what it is. You have sun lines somewhere. If they're not in North America, it's okay. Maybe they're in Asia. Maybe they're in Central America. Maybe yours fall in the Middle East. Maybe some of you have sun lines in Europe. Maybe you have some in Australia. It doesn't really matter. The point I'm trying to make is that don't get upset about it, okay? And so let's start out by looking at the sun lines. And when I say sun lines, I'm talking about the astrocartography sun line energy for people. And so let's start out with Aaron. So Aaron is born and lives in the East Coast. Your sun line, which is a sun descendant line, is out on the West Coast. And a lot of your sun line does fall in the ocean. It's true. Look at the map here. But San Francisco is one of the cities where you have pretty much your closest sun line, because your sun line is out in the water so much. Now, the city of San Francisco, where your sun descendant line kind of lights up, is at 5 degrees. It's not really a tight orb. I like to kind of see, 0 to 3 degrees, but it's at about a 5 degree orb, which isn't bad. And so I don't know what the West Coast means to you, Aaron. I don't know if you've been to the West Coast, you like the West Coast, you don't like the West Coast. You have this energy out in the West Coast. especially in San Francisco. The sun descendant line, for any 4 of you that I mentioned have a sun descendant line, is all about the spotlight in your relationships, in the public eye. So you could find you might cultivate some positive relationships out on the West Coast. You may find maybe you are single, and maybe you are interested in somebody romantically that's from the West Coast. I don't know. But the sun descendant line energy is a shiny energy with emphasis in the relationship sector, in the public. This could also bode well for you, Aaron, if you are in a career and you're maybe looking to work with some new people, or you want to make a change in your career, and let's just say it happens to be with a corporation or a person or a business that comes from the West Coast. You may find that it's a positive experience for you. So, like I have mentioned before in some of these readings, you need to really do your own research. If this is an interesting topic for you, if this is a gravitational pull, or is making you kind of more interested in pursuing, for example, West Coast type energy, especially San Francisco, that area. One way you can also bring your sunline to you is through remote activation. So, for example, getting a book on everything San Francisco, or putting postcards up of San Francisco in your office or in your space or on your smartphone, or visiting that area of the country, taking a road trip over there, going over to visit. Now, Aaron, a lot of your sunline is true. It does fall in the water, okay? And so I'm not saying the entire West Coast is all about your sun descendant line. But what I am saying is that the sun descendant line is the strongest over there in the city of San Francisco. Okay? So again, do your own research, Aaron. Thank you so much for letting us take a look at your chart. And by the way, where you live in the East Coast, you're not on any significant line over there. In fact, none of you, Aaron, Marcela, Eva, and Angel, I don't believe any of you are really living on a significant, hardcore planetary line where you are. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't believe any of you are. I know none of you are living on your sun lines where you live now or where you were born. I know that for a fact. But, so do your own research, okay? Anyway, now let's go on to Marcela, Boston. So you're from the East Coast, just like Aaron is, and your sun descendant line, Aaron had a sun descendant line too, is over in the West Coast. It's true. But your sun line is not so out into the ocean that it's not getting lit up in those various cities on the coast. So you have very positive sun descendant line energy, Marcela, on the West Coast. Specifically like San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Santa Barbara, and a lot of those other cities on the coast, going into maybe Oregon and Washington and up into Canada. And so, does the West Coast have any special meaning to you? Is there someone in the West Coast that you want to have a relationship with? Or maybe you're in a relationship with someone who is in the West Coast. Have you been to the West Coast? Did you like the West Coast? Do you have any photographs of the West Coast? Do you have any pictures of San Francisco or San Diego or Los Angeles? Are there any major NFL teams, baseball teams, basketball teams, hockey teams, or any of those energies of importance to you? Have you traveled there? Are you planning a trip there? West Coast is big for you. Spotlight on the West Coast. Are you interested in the entertainment industry? Are you an actress? The spotlight is big for you with the sun descendant there. And if you were going to tell me, Jill, I've been wanting to maybe go into the entertainment industry, or I'd like to maybe give it a try at least, I would definitely say cultivate working with agents and that energy, people from those parts of the West Coast. Am I guaranteeing, if you do it, you're going to be this famous person overnight? No, I can't guarantee anybody's success here. This is purely astrological information about your chart energy. What you do with it is up to you. And so all I can say is the energy for you, Marcela, in the West Coast is very positive. And so work with it however you would like to. And if you have visited there or you're planning to, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. In fact, for all of you here, Aaron, Marcela, Eva, and Angel, it'd be so helpful to the group, to the collective, to all the people who come here to my channel, if you could post your thoughts about your sunline energy. So I'm going to move on now, but Marcela, you have a very strong sun descendant line, and I think it's very positive, and it just feels really good and shiny. Okay. Now we're going to jump over to Eva. So Eva, your chart energy is very interesting because I looked at the United States, North America, because that's what I'm doing for everybody here. It's just kind of easier to do for me when I'm looking at so many people's charts. And I could not get a sun line for you that I could necessarily work with. Okay? And you've got one, but it's way, if you look at, it's so, you can't even see it on the map. It's way over, way over west, northwest of the West Coast. And so what I did instead was I was like, I wonder what Hawaii would be like for Eva's natal chart. And even though I couldn't find a sun line for you, I found Hawaii is a very positive spot for you because your sun falls in your first house, which means people are noticing you. And our sun line is where people can notice us, especially if it's on one of the angles or if it's in the first house. And so what I wanted your takeaway message to be is that Hawaii may hold some strong importance for you this lifetime. I'm not sure if you've been to Hawaii or you want to go or you've been thinking about it or you know people in Hawaii, but you may, if you ever wanted to work with this energy, you may want to cultivate some online groups or discussions or pictures or read books about it or study about it around the Hawaiian energy. Okay? And for you, as I mentioned in the beginning of this discussion, just because we don't see major sun lines in North America doesn't mean you don't have any, because everybody has a sun line somewhere. Okay? It just takes more research into your chart energies to find where yours would lie. And a lot of times, people who do astrocartography, they will spend hours in every continent looking at a person's chart to find the sun energy, okay? So, enjoy that, Eva. That's pretty cool. I love Hawaii. Love it. Okay, so now we're on to Angel. So, Angel, I had a little bit of challenge kind of with your chart information, and I don't know if it's because you're in Fiji. And, you know, astro.com is not really, to me, at least as of today, it wasn't real easy to locate and work with that energy necessarily. But in the United States, in North America, your sun IC line, which is the home life energy, falls over there in the East Coast, and such as Vermont and Quebec, Canada. You can see your sun IC line just with a little section there of that East Coast energy. So for you, I don't know if you've been to the United States. I don't know if you've been to North America. What does that area of the country mean for you? But the sun IC is about shining in the home life, shining around the family unit. It could mean that you may find people from that part of the country are nurturing or give you that family feel. Maybe you might want to travel there, see what it feels like. Maybe you could live there. Maybe that could be your home life. To bring that energy into your present day life, you could study about these cities and countries. You could get postcards. You could join Facebook groups or groups that can help you learn more about, for example, Vermont or Quebec, Ontario, Canada, and so on. In the same way that I suggested it for Aaron, Marcela, Eva, and now you, bring it in through remote activation. If you're not planning to go there, if you're not planning to visit, you can bring it in to where you currently live. And you can do that through the internet. You can do that through studying, magazines, groups, joining groups, the history books, those tour guide books, Pinterest boards, and so on. And then anybody you meet this lifetime that could be from those areas where your sun lines fall, then you'll remember, oh, okay, I met someone from Vermont. Oh, that's where my sun IC line falls. Interesting. No wonder I like them, or maybe I don't like them. So it's up to you again. All right? So I'm going to end there, everyone. Thank you so much. Happy Leo season. Happy learning about your sun lines, everybody. And remember to do your own research if this is of interest to you. Okay, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.